Welcome to another episode of Boundary Riders podcast. So we are looking at the big game between the Chennai Super Kings versus the Delhi Capitals. So it's basically a battle between the father of the nation and the father of IPL. You can say Thala versus Bapu, as you see from the title itself that we have in our video. Right, and we have a new member joining today. First of all, I'd like to welcome Dwepayan. So we have you. I mean, everyone, you must have seen our faces, Saikat, me, Rickjoy, Somodeep. So we have a new member today who would be joining us in analyzing this particular game. So Dwepayan, do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, firstly, hello everyone. And a very interesting thing, I met Rick Joy in I think Shomodip Das. Uh, there was an occasion, so I met him there, and I told him that I saw you, and you have a very great analysis of the game. So I just wanted to contribute because, like everyone, I am also a cricket fanatic. In fact, today also I watched a worthless match, Pakistan versus New Zealand. So I'm that much of a cricket fanatic. So let's see, what happens during this live stream.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome, Deepan. I think interesting thing, Deepan. I mean, uh, all the people here who are here, right? Apart from Somadeep, I have not met anyone physically. I have not met Saikat or Rikjoy physically ever. But it's just the bond that we have shared through our cricket discussions and contests and all those things, right? That's kind of a bond that have helped us in bringing this initiative of the Boundary Riders, right? So it's how virtual, even though if you are virtually connected, but it's how interested you are or how fanatic you are about this game that we all love. That keeps you connected basically. So let's go to the match, the contest between the CSK and the DC. So again, likewise in the previous podcast that we had, it was basically a battle between the top and the bottom, right? So Punjab versus the Rajasthan. It's a similar kind of a battle. A team placed at number two versus a team placed at almost the bottom, right? Not something that we have seen over the years. It has always been CSK, always been in the top four kind of a team, always been there in the qualifiers or winning the trophy. And Delhi Capitals always, I mean, somehow fate did not support them. Finalist twice, but never won the coveted trophy, right? But tables are turning, and we are seeing a different picture. We are seeing a lot of different things here in this IPL. Chennai losing at their den, Chepauk, which is a rare sight, and yet again there's one more game that they have at their own den, that is the Chepauk.
That too against
So
RCB,
that
which is
Yeah,
again a record.
exactly.
yes,
Was
this
about to say that.
IPL, yeah, this IPL is all about uncertainties, and we have seen some uncertainties here, like RCB defeating Chennai in Chennai, RCB defeating KKR in Kolkata. So some uncertainties here and there, and
Uh,
but
KKR
nevertheless,
losing out in Eden Gardens is not a big phenomenon. We have some issues with our pitch curator and the team, so KKR is not that of a fortress as it was in Gautam Gambhir's time. But yeah, you can say that it's sort of a uncertainty.
yeah, I mean RCB defeating KKR, so that was kind of an
Yeah,
uncertainty at
yeah,
Eden.
true that.
That's what. Anyways, let's move on to the big discussion that we have today. So first of all, let's talk about Chennai, right? So let's talk about Chennai. So the news is that Rituraj Gaikwad is most probably not going to feature today. And so, Rigja, we start with you. Do you think Mahendra Singh Dhoni is going to be back as the captain of Chennai Super Kings?
Looks like so. I think there are who else you can see captaining for them. Is it Sam Curran? I'm
I
not
think
sure.
they could have went with Ashwin or Jadeja as well, but I think
Absolutely.
for the sake of
Jadeja is already traumatized. Uh,
uh,
so I don't think Jadeja will go. Ashwin is a great
Ashwin would have
candidate.
been a good choice as well. Yeah.
Ashwin is a great candidate. Personally, it makes great cricketing sense to give captaincy to a youngster like Ashwin, who got opportunity to bat before Thala. I believe same goes for the captaincy, but I think Dhoni will be there. will be the captain.
Yeah, it will be a huge moment, I think, for the Chennai fans, and also in the commentary box if Raidu and Ryan are there. If Mahendra Singh Dhoni comes out for the toss, so it will be a great moment. But interesting thing, Rituraj, the captain, I understand, but Rituraj as a batsman, right? So who will be filling that position? I mean, Chennai's batting already looks very shaky, right? So do they have to play Rahul Tripathi, Deepak Hooda, and Vijay Shankar, all the three players? Saikat, your views.
No, I think Rahul Tripathi would come down or Vijay Shankar. I think both Rahul Tripathi and Vijay Shankar played and Deepak Huda did not play. So I feel Devon Conway will come in and open the innings along with Rachin. And then number three, either Rahul or be it in any order, right? So Rahul, Conway, and Rachin should be your top three. And then it goes with Vijay Shankar and um, I think the rest of the order will follow as it is. I don't see any other changes. So this is the only change I think Devon Conway should be coming in. I don't see any reason they should be, and the other two overseas would be Noor Ahmed and Pathirana. This would be their best four overseas. I think they should have tried it from the beginning, first match itself. And Shivam Dube will always continue. Shivam Dube and Jadeja will continue in the death overs, and probably in mid overs. I think the bigger role will be now with Vijay Shankar and I think Jadeja.
Absolutely. I think even in the previous podcast as well, we discussed that ideally Sam Curran, the way he's performing, he should not be in that 11, and you need to have Devon Conway. That gives you some sort of batting depth. I mean, seeing the performances of Sam Curran, he's going nowhere. Neither in batting nor in bowling, he's not doing anything, right? So he's not completing his four full overs. He's not completing. He's not hitting at a. It's a kind of, he's like a kind of a finisher is what they are treating him, right? But he's not doing that job as well, right? So,
Yeah,
quick
but that
question to the.
again does not solve the purpose as well. So I feel again it's a top heavy, but without a middle order. They were not performing in the top order as well. That was a bigger problem which they could not figure it out. I think if they will probably solve the problem, but in middle overs, I think the problem still remains same. How much they can, who will guide that innings, and who will be the apart from the finishing role, who will take that innings to the end overs.
Absolutely right. I mean, that's what has been always the problem. Their lack of finishing abilities in CSK, which might work in pitches like Chepauk, wherein the score is around 150, 160, 170 around. But again, they will falter in the big hitting grounds, right? So going to that question of the finishing abilities, right? The finishing capabilities that CSK has. So Dwaypain, a question to you, right? Uh, I think the top looks fine still when if Conway comes into the play, and then Conway, Ravindra, Rahul Tripathi, maybe a Vijay Shankar at four. Do you think Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the captain, right now since he has become the captain, so Mahendra Singh Dhoni as a captain is a different player, right? He takes decisions. We saw the 2011 World Cup. He promoted himself at number four. Do you see him coming at number six maybe in this match?
See, the main problem with Dhoni is that his knees aren't in a good state. Let's be honest. He's a 43-year-old guy, and his knees, like, they are not that agile as they were in his yesteryears. So it's not about the position that he is batting, it's about his own fitness. So I don't think so he can contribute much, or he can run that fast enough between wickets. Although we saw some of the running, like in the 18th 19th over, where it was very crucial, he isn't that person who can rotate the strike. He only depends upon hitting those bad balls out of the park. So, and though that kind of capability only comes into play when he fits into that 16 to 20 over slot, if he comes there. So that's
Hmm.
why I don't actually see him batting at number six, purely because of his fitness reasons. If we see it in theoretically or in a very cricketing sense, yes, he should come, but his fitness isn't there where he can actually provide that a mixture of caution and aggression. He's purely aggression now, or I can say a lack of it, because
Hmm.
he isn't what he isn't even middling the balls. with his bat.
Hmm.
So one thing that I've analyzed with Tilak that I saw in the previous match, and Rinku and Venki, where I actually saw them in the field, batsmen of such caliber require that the ball that they middle the ball with their bat, but that isn't happening. That wasn't happening with Rinku and Venki, and that didn't happen for Tilak, and it isn't happening for Dhoni as well. In the previous two seasons, he it was happening because, well, it was his form or something like that. But even in this season, even that is not happening. So there is a handicap for CSK. He has become a liability for CSK, to be very honest. So 6, 7, no matter where, he has to give you that 9 balls 20 run innings, or a 11 balls 30 run innings wherever he
Correct.
can give.
Agreed. I mean, that's what I mean. Even in our previous podcast, we were discussing, right, that Dhoni at number 9 or number 8, batting too late, coming in a situation where the game is almost lost. Uh, that does not justify the cricketing sense, cricketing logic. If he is purely in that team and if he wants to even enjoy that game and not maybe think about the result, then also he should come at a position where at least he scores a 8 ball 20 or a 10 ball 30. That's what it would be. So we welcome Somadip. Somadip, we are talking about the most hot topic and most favorite topic of this entire generation of cricket lovers, that is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So now that we already discussed that mostly Rituraj will be out of this game because of that injury, so it is most likely going to be Mahendra Singh Dhoni taking up the captaincy duty, unless he pulls up another stunt of handing it over to maybe Ashwin or Jadeja. Who knows? That might also happen. But if Mahendra Singh Dhoni
You forgot the uncapped part. He is
uncapped
uncapped.
part, he's uncapped, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni most likely would be taking up the captaincy duties. So the question to Dopayan, what I posted was that, do you see him taking more responsibilities and batting maybe at number 6? Maybe let's say a situation is that 16 over, CSK are around 120, and the last 4 overs he comes and just accelerates rather than sending Jadeja or an Ashwin.
Right. And Dhoni coming back to the captaincy, that will be a good thing to see for us. At least it will be a bit of nostalgia where he is anyway the captain of this team, right? He rules the roast. Somebody of the stature of Stephen Fleming, who has been the coach of this team for such a long time, he says that it's Dhoni's decision when he comes out to bat. It's like I was just trying to put an analogy in one of the groups of cricket lovers somewhere, that like it's like my manager telling me that you have 2 days to complete this task, and it's a very critical task and it may bring client escalations. I say no, assign it to intern, and I will do this work only on the penultimate hour of the second day, right? I will do it then only. But manager says no, it will bring out escalations. But no, I'll do it only on the second day. At the very last hour, I'll get into this topic. But what if you are not able to complete it? No, that we'll see. That is not for like my prerogative to see. So it's that kind of a situation, right, where he delays his presence and he calls it that when he will come out to bat. Imagine the like trouble that a captain or a coach goes through, where they do not know that they have ammunition with themselves, but they do not know how to use it or when to use it. Right? They do not have that authority to call out when to use it. So I was just thinking, like, only a player of the stature of Dhoni has this liberty in the cricket field or in the cricket arena to express himself in this manner, right? And we see the rules changing per year for him, right? We got the impact sub rule to fit him in the playing 12. We got this uncapped rule of experienced players to fit him in the retention of players. And you never know next year, after 3 years, when he wants to play, you remember there was that runners rule where the batsman used to come out with a runner
Correct,
and
right? Yes,
somebody else used to run with him. That rule can also be back very soon, just so
absolutely.
that he can continue
He
playing.
can play.
So So it's beyond any logic of cricket that he's still playing and he's still calling out, making the calls for the team. But when he becomes the captain, it will be a more formal way of doing that rather than being behind and like somebody else. There is always somebody else to blame when they lose. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely. I
good point.
think
So I think this the what happened with CSK with this Dhoni 2.0, right? Post captaincy. Yeah. I don't know what 2.0 or 3.0, 5.0, what version of Dhoni it is. But after this captaincy era of Dhoni, it has become so much of liability, and the balance has to come as a TRP and a value maker of your franchisee rather than a player. So I think we have seen one other franchisee, right, who is facing same kind of dilemma about Virat
yes.
Kohli and RCB. So I don't know whether it's a Virat impact of Virat Kohli and utilizing him eventually whatsoever manner he's playing, whether he is greater than the franchisee, whether the whole revenue is generated by him rather than the team who is performing or not. These sort of questions, which was only focused to RCB, now are arising for CSK as well, right? So considering a player, we are focusing and see what we discussed last match, right? So imagine one what Sanju Samson, I think Arjun you mentioned in the last match, or Rick Jay you mentioned. So 1 over is 5% of that inning. So imagine one player in those 11 and 12 currently. How much of
Hmm.
impact if that player goes on to play 2 to 3 overs and without an impact. So that goes into and such kind of competitive environment, right? At some point of time, it has to be cricket beyond anything else, and that is where we as a viewers, we as a mature audience, are failing time and time again. I see lot. The IPL is running on fan base. As simple as that, not on cricket. So fan base is
Shrikant,
all
the
about.
one.
I love Virat Kohli. The reason why I love RCB, not because I love that franchise, the way they are working, and the time it will continue. It will dominated by the players rather than the cricket.
Yes, Gurkhan,
Shrikant,
you
the
had a point.
nearest analogy, yeah, Shrikant, the nearest analogy that just came into my mind is that in the previous year of CPL, Dwayne Bravo featured for Trinbago Knight Riders, okay? But whenever he found out that he wasn't performing well, like his ball wasn't having whatever balls he was bowling, it wasn't like it wasn't that lethal, or it was too predictable. So whenever he found out that it's not working for the team, he went out and he retired from the whole T20 scenario. I don't know what is the problem with Dhoni, why he's still depending on these 3 months of cricket. Whether it is financial or not, I don't know, but that
I
is
think it's
some other
mostly
aspect.
it's mostly financial. I think financial for
As
himself and for the franchisee both, as
From
Somodeep
franchisee, and I
also
think there
mentioned, right?
must be some pressure from BCCI as well. I
Correct,
think something
absolutely.
or the other, yeah, he brings out a lot of TRP. He should be
That's
there in the field. As simple as that.
that's what exactly right. That's what it is. I mean, it is nothing else but the because see, if you see this team, right? If you see CSK, they haven't built a wicket keeper. They haven't built a solid captain also, if you think, right? Rituraj is just a, what should I say, a dummy kind of a captain. So when you lose, you blame Rituraj. When you win, you go all gaga over Mahendra Singh Dhoni, right? That's what it has been. So they don't have a wicket keeper, Indian wicket keeper, I would say. They don't have an Indian wicket keeper. They had picked up N Jagadishan, didn't give him much chances, right? I think the same was with Rituraj as well, probably in that season or maybe in the season before. But eventually, I think Rituraj flourished, and that's how he became a permanent in the team, right? So they did not give enough chances to N Jagadishan. They did not build him, and now I think Jagadishan is, I don't know where he is exactly. So that's it has been. And I think Saikat, one point you mentioned was about Virat Kohli, right? But you see here that Virat Kohli is doing his role, right? Whatever role he is assigned, maybe he's playing a slow innings, but at least he's doing the role for RCB. But I don't see that happening with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Talking about
Yeah,
Mahendra
but the
Singh Dhoni,
team
I
is,
think,
but the
huh,
team, but the team structure is dominated around Virat Kohli.
around
That is
Virat
also
Kohli, correct?
something which is concerning. A player is just a player, 1/11. That's all. He cannot be
Absolutely,
everything, and beyond that, you cannot build your team.
absolutely. And if you
And
remember the,
Fernando,
yeah,
just
if you,
to
hmm, yes, go ahead.
sure, go ahead, please complete.
No, and absolutely, if you see the way that IPL started, right? We had some icon players, right? Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly. And if you remember what happened with Saurav Ganguly or even with Rahul Dravid, right? Saurav Ganguly was sacked. I mean, he was not uh, retained in that lineup, right? He had to then go to Pune Warriors and all those stuff, right? Even Sachin Tendulkar, if you remember, I think he retired at his peak. He did not play the final of the match, that final of the championship that actually Mumbai won for the first time. Rahul Dravid did not perform well for RCB. RCB did not perform well under him. He lost. I mean, so the godly culture that is
Correct.
created, I think it's this generation and this generation of cricket lovers. It has to, I would say, cricket lovers, cricket fanatics. What should I say? Gen Z or what? I mean, they have placed Rohit, Virat, and Dhoni. I think this is what it is. I mean, it's only these three players that is over the entire social media. We discuss about that. Someone is someone is saying bad words about Rohit and vice versa, and Virat and Dhoni, right? So that's how it has been. I think God and villain structure that has been created by this particular generation. So going forward to that, I mean, we discussed a lot about Dhoni. I would ask Rickjoy. Rickjoy, just not the Dhoni factor, but do you think that so there was a recent interview from where I'm coming from. It was by the CSK scout. So he
Yes.
said that my job is to suggest the players. I told them Vipraj Nikam, I told them Priyan Sharia, I told them this, and they still went ahead with Jadeja, Ashwin, Deepak Hooda, Vijay Shankar. So my point is that, I mean, what is exactly Chennai trying to do? Does the same template work always? Right? So even Jadeja is hurting that team, right? Jadeja is doing nothing, I think, and his impact has not been great throughout all the IPLs that we have seen. He's not a wow player, right? So Rickjoy, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, there are two school of thought behind this. Like, even though how much we criticize MI's current team, think tank, and whatever it is, their scouting process is top notch. They identify players and they pick them up and ensure that the next generation of players are ready. We are seeing that whatever superstar culture you're talking about, we are seeing that slowly Rohit Sharma being eclipsed, and he will be sidelined. We are seeing that maybe next season he won't feature anymore. So Mumbai Indians have that ability to handle that superstar culture in such a way that when it is diminished, the effect is not felt. This is not the case for RCB and CSK. RCB has a problem with team building, which they have partially solved. I will say 80% solved this year. But CSK has no problem with team building because it was Dhoni's excellent cricketing mind that helped them to win all these five IPLs. But that patience has to wear out. So right now they have a pretty good team on paper with lot of experience, as you mentioned. Their Scout had shortlisted player for future, but CSK has never dependent on a like 2 3 youngsters. They have ever dependent on them. They are always, even if you remember, Dhoni's one of the champion bowler was I forget his name, the South African spinner. What was his name?
Imran Tahir.
Uh,
Imran
Imran Tahir.
Tahir. Imran
Imran
Tahir,
Tahi.
at the age of 40 or something, he actually gave Dhoni a lot of, backing in winning their IPL. So that is how CSK rolls on. They rely more on experience. They rely more on the ground level reality of these kind of players to win matches. That has a advantage and disadvantage to them both. The advantage is that CSK is still a five-time winner. No matter what we tell about Dhoni and everything, they're still a five-time winner. They even the last, despite all the shortcomings, the last trophy came only 2 years back. So uh, the question is, when will the patience run out? One thing we have seen is coming to urgently talking about this the social media culture and cloud. That cloud has now shifted. The way Rabid, Rohit, and Virat fans come after each other and defend each other, we have not seen Dhoni fans doing this session. After there is a shift from, especially the match when he came at number 9. After the shift from, even the most loyal Dhoni fans will not able to defend that kind of decision, and they very well know that what Somadip has also pointed out, that this kind of decision making is not on the captain. No captain will ever say Dhoni come at 9. And also, I would add Deepan's point that when DJ Bravo understood that he's not contributing, he's retiring. Dhoni understands that, but he's unable to retire. So why he's unable to retire? There may be two factors. One, he is not been allowed to retire because of all the other factors, but that will wear away. Things change, legends go away. Okay, time changes. So once that factor goes away, he might be slowly forced to, being retired or being sidelined. Slowly, those kind of steps will take place once the patience wears out. So I right now it is not wearing out, I believe so. So that's why they're still relying upon experience rather than youngsters. Maybe once all this thing goes away, once they're able to take a fresh stand like Punjab, then we might see changes, which may happen in the next auction, major auction. What do you call the major auction? The big auction or the
3 years,
3 years from now.
2018, 3 years,
mega auction,
2028.
sorry, mega auction, yeah. In
Hmm.
the next mega auction, we might see those changes. But as of now, they have to rely on this particular decision making they have. So historically, coming to some of the whole things, historically CSK has been never dependent on scouting process. They are dependent on old experienced players, along with great cricketing mindset from Dhoni and other players. Ruturaj has been very street smart in navigating the challenges which Jadeja faced, but will that lead to success? That's a different question.
Hmm. Agreed. I think.
And I just want to add one point there. Just like Rija mentioned, they have a set template and they go by that template. But one more aspect that they are missing out on is that in the Shahid Mustaq Ali Trophy, Rituraj Gaikwad actually kept wickets for Maharashtra, right? So, and he has very safe hand. He was driving both ways. I was just seeing a match. He was driving both ways. He was holding on to everything. So, like that is another option they can explore, right? They have that continuity of a captain who is a wicket keeper. That is one more area they can explore. That will solve their problem going in the future. Of course, when Dhoni chooses to retire, but that is something that they can explore. And like it's pretty similar to how it happened for India between the period of 2016 to 2019, where they were thinking in a very constricted manner, right? They were not thinking beyond. So it's pretty
Yeah.
similar. Maybe I would talk about that some other day, but we can move on to the next question, Arjun.
Yeah. I think 28 minutes, and I think almost 15 minutes we discussed about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So that's the aura of the player.
That's why, yeah, that's
Yes,
Hopefully,
why
yes.
we play.
hopefully that aura also leads to some success for the franchisee. So moving on to the other team that's there in contention, the Delhi Capitals, very much on the top of their game at the present moment. So I'll start off with Doipayan. So Doipayan, mostly in the first two games that Delhi Capitals have played, I think they have ticked most of the boxes. Do you see there are any challenges or any weaknesses that is there in this current team?
No, I don't see any weakness right now apart from Mitchell Stark failing. That's the only way because they have a good spinner in Kuldeep Yadav. Okay, so and they have a hitting option of Ashutosh Sharma. They have a spinner who can contain the runs like an Akshar Patel. They have a very good keeper and a very stable batsman, and I can safely say KL Rahul 2.2. And it's just that their top order, JFM and Abhishek Pural isn't they aren't firing. But again, it's the same problem that they aren't middling the balls. Once they start getting that sound, they are capable of being explosive players. Maybe not Abhishek Pural. Abhishek Pural still has some problems with the short ball, but JFM to definitely he needs one innings where so that he can kickstart his IPL journey. It hasn't yet, but yeah, that's all I can say about Delhi Capitals. All of the boxes are ticked, but only one opener, Mitchell Stark, maybe having a bad day. That's the only thing that they have to look out for. And Abhishek Pural needs to perform. That's it.
Hmm. JSM actually sounded like JSR, Jai Sri Ram, right? So, anyways, that's just trying to bring a funny thing. But yeah, McGurk definitely is a talented player. Has not performed in the Australia colors, and that's where the question again. I think in one of our sessions asked. I think I asked it to Saikat maybe that is McGurk a one season wonder. So, so Saikat, what are your views? Like, is he still a one season wonder, or you see him performing in this season as well?
See, I watched their previous match, right, against SRH very carefully. So, two things I want to say. There, I mean, in the first match, they lower middle order performed. In the second match, top order performed. So they are pretty much capable, the entire lineup. And in both the time, in both the cases, Pezamaker struggled. Although he got some 30, 35 or 40 odd runs in the second match, he was not connecting well, as simple as that. On the other hand, a 40-year-old guy who was middling the ball and he was in his prime form and getting those runs, right? So I feel people have figured it out what to bowl to Jet Fitzgerald. I don't see him coming back. He's probably losing the place after 2 or 3 matches going forward. I don't know. I'm still not sure who is the backup opener for them. But I don't see him that great, which he was there as a pleasant surprise. He came in and started moving his bat here and there and got those runs. But I don't see that timing there. And I think Gopal, you talked about Porel, right? Abhishek Porel. So I think Porel is important. No matter what, he probably will guide the lineup from beginning, from the openers to the finishing, to the death over. But the major role he will be playing is as a left-hander, right? So I don't think they have any important left-hander in that entire lineup. So he will probably fit in number 3 or 4 position, and KL will come as a floater. So
Hmm.
Jack Rosenberger, if you talk about that, no, I don't think he is coming back in this season. He'll probably play some blinders, but he won't be that consistent for sure. And he will be losing out his place in going forward. That is also something
Also,
as a
also
bold
JFM
statement.
hasn't performed in for Australia as such. He has just performed only in the IPL 2024. He hasn't performed against Pakistan. He hasn't
Hmm.
performed in any other. He hasn't performed. I think there was an ODI with South Africa. I don't know. I'm not sure, but he hasn't performed there as well. In the T20s, in the ODIs, he hasn't performed. He has only performed in IPL 2023, and that too, there were like 5 to 6 innings. Okay, so uh, maybe you can call him the Venkatesh Iyer of Delhi Capitals, but anyways, that's but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have the capability. If a person who can play such shots, who has such type of a range, it doesn't mean that he's a bad batter. For example, I
Hmm.
can call Babar Azam a bad batter because he doesn't have the range. He doesn't play those aerial shots. He only plays along the ground and doesn't even look for singles these days. So he is a
Hmm.
bad batter for me.
Hmm.
But JFM isn't a bad batter. It's just that his intent is very like over the top. So he just needs to calm himself down and just play those 32 of 17 innings
Hmm.
firstly, rather than concentrating on getting those 40, 50, 30, 40 runs in less balls. He just needs to settle down in 1 to 2 innings, and then he can. I'm positive about him, and because he's a very exciting batsman for me.
Absolutely. I think JFM, I think McGurk played blinders last time. I think 70 of 28, 727 deliveries, those
Exactly.
sort of innings. So if I mean he's one of those impactful players. He's a kind of a Nicholas Puran kind of a, person with some less
Exactly.
consistency, maybe.
Nicholas Puran too in his initial seasons didn't perform that much. As now
Hmm.
he's like the most underrated batsman in T20 scenarios right now. He has been performing consistently, be it SAT20 or ILT20 or even IPL. He has been scoring 50s like it's a cup of tea for him. So
Absolutely.
and his range of shots are also very like he has great range of shots, which defines a good batsman. Uh,
Ab-
so that's
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely, a very key player, Jake Fraser Magak, and along with that, Duplessis. So we talk about age. We talk about age. I think Duplessis is like aging like a fine wine. He is actually performing really well across all the leagues. It's not just the IPL. He has, I think, he has been doing all over the place. He has been good, right? Talking about, I think you mentioned a point, Depan, regarding KL Rahul 2.0, right? We have seen that KL Rahul has cemented his place in the Indian setup as well. I think he is now the preferred wicket keeper above Rishabh Pant, right? So, Rigjoy, your thoughts, like how important is this season for KL Rahul, and how do you see him performing this time?
Firstly, I would commend the Delhi management to give the captaincy to Bapu rather than KL. We all thought that it will be a switcheroo, like KL will become the DC captain while Pant will become the LSG captain. But it was a pleasant surprise that KL was not made the captain, and at that, I think that step itself will be a huge relief for KL Rahul, who will not have the burden of captaincy of having all those second thoughts. He can only focus on his batting. We saw the glimpses in the last match. He played some wonderful shot coming in the middle order, and he was blasting from the beginning. So I believe uh, this particular change will always be a huge positive for KL Rahul, and he can come up with a free mind and play according to the situation. He is a player who can both accelerate when he wants, as well as play a very thoughtful innings under critical condition, as a perfect middle order batsman would. Suppose if DC lose couple of quick wickets in the beginning, he had the mettle to slow down and then play an inning building role and then accelerate in the end, or give the opportunity to uh, the tail enders or the finishers. So he has this tremendous opportunity, and he's high on confidence from his India performance. He has done well for India, and he has won the Champions Trophy and everything. So I would say that KL Rahul, we thought that he might be a lost case like a year ago based on his India and LSG performance, but and also his captaincy. But he is making a great comeback. I think better than Rishabh Pant in some cases. And not being the captain is a cherry on top. I believe so. He will be able to completely focus on batting and keeping, and and not think about anything else. And he can, uh, do that what I said. So in a crunch situation, he can hold the inning, and in some situation he can play as a finisher, and in some situation he can accelerate if needed on certain situations because he got that kind of talent in him.
Mm. I think, Saikat, you have been very vocal amongst ourselves about KL Rahul, right? You've always been vocal about KL Rahul. Do you agree with what Rigjoy said? I mean, is he going to be that key player, or is it just going to be like we are expecting a lot from him?
You are on mute. You are on.
Mm, you are on
Yeah,
mute. Yeah.
absolutely. I think the price tag he got in, right. I think it's around 14 CR if I
Yes.
remember. So it's a very valuable player they got at that price. He will be able to keep wickets. He is a kind of the version 2.0 what we are seeing, right? He can smack the balls out of the park in the death overs. He can build an innings if there are 1 or 2 wickets which goes on. Unfortunately, the match they lost those first 3 wickets. He was not part of the team, but I think he's will be much more valuable player. What we have seen in LSG, he was probably certain under certain pressure of captaincy, coach, or owner. Or we don't know. The first 2 seasons probably Gambhir would have bashed him, and the next season when Gambhir was not there, the owner bashed him. So probably all those things those things are not in back of his mind anymore. He's playing freely, and he's also contributing with wicket keeping. So I think he's a very key player in that lineup, and we will see a shift in gear. And what we have seen that in when he was playing in Punjab days, he'll be that kind of player we will see this year.
Yeah, hopefully. I think when he started for Punjab, and even before that, I think he had some brief seasons with SRH and then with RCB. Right, the kind of player he
Mm.
was, I think he lost himself. He consistently gave you those orange cap seasons, but I think the strike rate was always a concern.
It
But
started, I think it started in Punjab when he was not trusting the lower middle orders. Basically, he was there were a lot of partnership with him and Mayank Agarwal, 100 for one, 100 for no loss, and then they used to bundle out within 150, right? That was the
Correct.
beginning of KL Rahul being considerate about what I need to play and what will be my role. The same thing happened with LSG. They were not closing out the game, but this is a different scenario. They have a very wild finishing of lower order batsmen and very big hitters in the top order. So I don't think he will be playing that kind of role. He's free to play anything he wants.
I
Hmm.
have one thought. Sorry to interject. LSG captaincy and the way he put himself as a wicket keeper and opening for LSG, it was more of an interview for his India selection. I think he was putting himself in the front because he wanted to be considered for the India selection as a wicket keeper, and that's why he was doing such kind of
And that
thing.
did
And
not
Quinton de
happen.
Kock was not keeping the wickets.
Yes, and that did not happen ultimately. So, yes, correct, right. Okay, I think we have discussed enough about the players. So,
And
uh,
just two
hmm,
points just about Delhi Capitals. They have a Karun Nair in their ranks. They have a T Natarajan. They aren't featuring at all. So they have like well established backups. So I don't see any problems about Delhi Capitals getting those 2 points, to be very honest. And because Chennai Super Kings also have an Anshul Kamboj, which they aren't even utilizing
correct.
because Anshul Kamboj has been. It's not that CSK has not entirely overlooked the young talent. They have an Anshul Kamboj, they have a Vansh Bedi, but Andre Siddharth, I think he featured in under 19 World Cup or Asia Cup or somewhere. So it isn't that they have entirely overlooked the young faces, but the Delhi Capitals, while they have been, the torchbearer of promoting young talents like Vipraj Nigam or Ashutosh Sharma or an Abhishek Pural, Chennai Super Kings has been depending upon experience and experience. So two sides of the same coin are Delhi Capitals and Chennai Super Kings. So let's see who wins today.
Yeah, I think CSK's bowling has not been the problem. It's their batting that is with the problem. The reason Anshul Kamboj is not playing is because I think Khalil Ahmed is doing good. I think if Khalil Ahmed and they want that left armor because they already have a Pathirana, right? So they just want that left armor
Yeah.
variation as well. So that's why Khalil
That's where
Ahmed will be. Hmm.
actually Sam, like leaving out Sam Curran and getting Anshul Kamboj isn't a bad idea because Anshul Kamboj also can bat a little bit.
Right, but I think the bigger role would be that they need to strengthen their batting because they already have three frontline spinners, and I think there are two pacers, Khalil Ahmed and Pathirana, and I think even Rachin Ravindra and Shivam Dubey, if time permit, if the situation demands, I think they can also roll over their arm. So uh, yeah, I mean that's how they should balance out their team. Coming to the Delhi Capitals part, right? So yes, as you correctly mentioned that they have brought the right talent. I think Vipraj Nigam is an exciting talent. We always saw the glimpses of Ashutosh Sharma, but I think Vipraj Nigam is also one such sensation this season. So going forward with that, Riksha, what do you think would be the key battles tonight in this? Not tonight. I think we have this match in an hour or so. So
Like after
key
1 hour.
battles.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the key
Uh,
battles?
yeah, I think Bapu and the whole CSK middle order or top middle order will be a key fight to watch out. Second will be whenever Dhoni comes, how will Delhi try to counter that? Will they give? Will I think it's in Chennai, right? It's a CSK home match. So will they counter on their spin strength, or will they go because Dhoni, if Dhoni comes, then he will go right after the bowlers, and especially if you have your pacers, he will go after them. But
Hmm.
will they try to counter them with spinners? Like will Aksar come little late and try to bowl the penultimate overs. That will be an interesting thing, but I don't see that happening. That will be a way too risky thing to have a spinner ball at 17, 18th over. But that will be an interesting, interesting visualization I'm doing. Other than as I mentioned, I would like to see Khalil versus Maggar because Khalil will be opening the bowling for them, and if Maggar is on its full flow, then it will be an exciting thing to watch. Either Khalil might uproot his stump, or Maggar may make 20 or 25 runs and is over. So that will be an interesting thing. Secondly, will be the toss. I do not know what will happen. Maybe both teams will want to bowl first. That has become the standard now, but that is not yielding to results. So even though teams are opting to bowl first, um, still they are the results are getting here and there. So it will be an interesting thing.
Okay, quick question, Saikat. Top performers from Delhi.
Faf du Plessis and Kuldeep Yadav.
Okay. Dwepayan, top performers from CSK.
Um, maybe Rachin and Jadeja for a change. I'm banking on experience.
Okay. Experience what it is for CSK always, right? So yes,
Yeah.
I think I am doing a bold prediction here, and not bold doing a bold prediction. Basically, doing a what should I say? A logical prediction here. So Rahul, KL
Thoughts on?
Rahul, KL Rahul, 40 ball 50 is what my prediction would be.
That
Because
is
this
not
is the ideal.
happening. That is not
That,
happening, right?
Oh,
but this is the
that
ideal
is
situation, right?
those days are gone. Those days are
No,
gone.
no, just for the reason that this is Chepauk, I am making the prediction that this will be a slow pitch, and I think KL Rahul might have to play that innings today because I see that McGurk and Duplessis both will be getting out early, and they
See,
have to do the
So,
holding role.
one
what you're
thing, one
predicting is
thing.
probably will work in the second innings, but I don't see that happening in first innings for sure. He won't.
Yeah,
He won't. He will go for
because
short.
Chepauk isn't a dust bowl as such. It's a slow, like it aids the spinners, but it isn't a dust bowl where he has
Mm,
to play that consolidatory innings. So I don't see him scoring 50 or 40 balls, but maybe I actually have a completely opposite thing where he actually can score if he bats first. He actually can score something around 21 ball 54 or something like that. I don't know because he also has a record where he actually has a
mm.
fastest 50 record.
Absolutely,
So
15 ball 50. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
14,
correct,
14
correct.
mark.
I think we got.
it's
I think we got one of the questions from our viewers. I think it was one of our panelists only. Akshar as a captain, right? So Saikat, Akshar as a captain. How do you feel? I mean,
No, I do not have any opinion yet. There were no tough calls need to be made as of now. I would still love to see that. Just because your team is winning does not define that he has still shown some good captaincy record. We haven't seen that yet. At least I haven't seen that yet. People are criticizing Rahane's first game as a captain, right? He did the same thing in the very last match. In the fourth match, he bowled with all the top his best five bowlers up front. He did the same against RCB in the first match. People still criticize and people appreciated it in the fourth match, right? So
absolutely.
let's see in those challenging moments, how does he do justice to that? We are yet to see that. He is
and
consulting a lot with Kale and
hmm.
Faf, which is a good thing. And we'll see what goes.
And Aksar in his post-match conferences, there are two consistent words that comes out of his mouth that this team will always go up and down. If you see his post-match conferences, he always says that don't expect so much of consistency in our team. We'll have lots of ups and downs in our match, so get ready for such type of a stuff. So no opinion as such can be formed based on even these statements or his two match wins. So yeah.
Mm, absolutely. Too early to say. I mean, just two matches, way long in the tournament. The tables will definitely turn. Uh, so, I mean, just we are almost close to our podcast. So quick predictions, Rickjoy, CSK versus DC. Who do you think will be the winner today?
I think my bet will be on DC.
Saikat?
I'll go with CSK. CSK is winning this.
Okay. Dvaipayan?
CSK.
Yeah, I think
CSK
I'll
winning
also
this.
go. I think I'll also go with CSK. Again, going by the law of averages, CSK has to win this in Chepauk in their own den. So hoping it's a 3-1 as from our prediction, like 3-1 in favor of CSK. Let's see. I mean, whoever wins or whoever loses, it's going to be an exciting contest again, and we might see Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming up the order at number 6 maybe,
Again, you are
and
missing out. It's Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the uncapped player.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the
Let's address him like
yes,
that.
the uncapped player coming at 6 maybe, and I one thing, whatever be the result, one thing would be constant, that if Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the uncapped player, comes out for the toss, then there will be a huge roar in the stadium as well as in the commentary box. I think, and I'm not sure
Not
how.
about to say that.
I don't know how to say that, and I don't know what the reaction would be of Ambati Raidu and Suresh Raina on that.
Are you
On
guys
the
following the sports CRE and other things? There is a
correct.
super chat always called Jaws
Just
D92.
I actually don't want to maintain. I actually don't want to mention that, because again, this
Very
will be watched by
fortunately, yeah, very
this.
fortunately, we don't have a Jaws D92 in our chat. But yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah. I don't want to mention that because this will be watched by the family. So I don't
yeah,
want to put that. So on that funnier note, let's have a great game today. Two
yes,
blockbuster encounters, and we have our reviews for both. We have our previews for both. So I would like to thank everyone on the panel for this wonderful discussion, and to all the viewers, just keep watching us. And if you like our content, if you have any feedback for us, you can also post that in our chat box or in comment section. And if you want us to specifically talk about any particular topic apart from the IPL, that also will take into consideration, and we can come live on those videos as well. So for now, everyone, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for being with us, and just like, subscribe, and keep growing. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.